A Barndominium owner in East Texas opens her insurance renewal notice. The number on the page does not match anything she expected. Her premium went up 41%. Not 4%. 41. Nothing on her property changed. No claims. No renovations. No new pool. No new dog breed. The only difference between this renewal and the one 2 years ago was a 600 square foot greenhouse she had attached to her Barndominium. Her agent's explanation, once she finally got someone on the phone, came down to 4 words quietly reshaping rural property insurance in 2026. Reclassified mixed-use structure. I'm going to show you the real 2026 industry data, the exact classification mistake driving these increases, and the policy fix that took her next renewal from 41% down to 16%. Stay until the end, because I'm breaking down what carriers are actually pricing, what counts as undisclosed commercial activity, and the single line item change that cuts your increase in half without dropping coverage you actually need. If you own a Barndominium with a greenhouse, shop, or any attached structure, smash that like button right now and subscribe, because we're about to get into the exact wording that determines whether your next renewal is a manageable increase or a brutal one. Let's be clear about what we're comparing here. There is the national insurance market trend, and there is what happens specifically to Barndominiums with attached greenhouses. These are not the same number, and conflating them is exactly why so many owners are blindsided at renewal. Industry analysts project the average U.S. homeowner insurance premium to rise approximately 8% in 2026, driven primarily by reinsurance costs and accumulated climate losses. That is the baseline every standard, cleanly classified residential structure is working against. Barndominiums with an attached greenhouse, shop, or workshop are not standard, cleanly classified residential structures in the eyes of most underwriters in 2026. That distinction is the entire video. Let's start here because this is where the gap becomes crystal clear. The national average increase for 2026 sits around 8%. Properties in high-risk wildfire or hurricane zones see more, but that's a geography problem, not a classification problem. Barndominium owners with an unreported or improperly classified attached greenhouse are seeing 25 to 60% increases, sometimes more, and most have no idea why until they pick up the phone and ask directly. 8% national average versus 25, 60% plus 4 unclassified mixed-use structures. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between a manageable renewal and one that makes you question whether to shop for a new carrier entirely. Here's the mechanism. When you build a greenhouse after your original policy is written, it frequently does not get formally added in a way that classifies it correctly. It gets lumped into a vague other structures allowance at outdated values, or it surfaces at renewal when an underwriting team reviews aerial imagery, something far more common in 2026 than 5 years ago. Let me give you actual patterns, not theory. The East Texas owner from the hook. Greenhouse attached to her main structure, a small supplemental propane heater, an automated irrigation system, and 2 informal farmer stand produce sales the previous summer. None of it disclosed when the greenhouse was built, because nobody told her it mattered. Her renewal reflected 3 years of accumulated underinsurance risk landing all at once. 41%. Compare that to Barndominium owners who scheduled their greenhouse as its own line item with an accurate replacement cost and disclosed any produce sales up front. Their increases are landing closer to 12 to 18%, still above the national baseline in some cases, but nowhere near the 40+% spike hitting unclassified structures. Now here's the pattern. Undisclosed, unclassified, and underinsured structures take the worst hit. Disclosed, scheduled, and accurately valued structures absorb the market increase without the penalty on top of it. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between a frustrating renewal and a genuinely damaging one. Why does an attached greenhouse get hit so much harder than a detached shed? Let's break down the underwriting logic. First, attachment status. A standard policy covers your primary dwelling plus a limited other structures allowance, typically capped at 10% of your dwelling limit. A detached shed fits cleanly into that category. An attached greenhouse, sharing a wall, roof line, or structural connection, does not. and can trigger reclassification of your entire property as mixed use. Second, commercial activity disclosure. Carriers are increasingly asking directly in 2026 whether any produce, eggs, or goods have been sold from the property, even informally, even once. Undisclosed commercial activity discovered after a claim is one of the fastest ways to get a claim denied entirely, not just a premium increased. Third, internal systems valuation. HVAC, supplemental heating, electrical service, and irrigation automation each add replacement cost value that a generic other structures allowance was never sized to cover. Glazing, frames, and equipment have all risen in cost since 2020. Most owners are insuring 2022 prices against 2026 rebuild costs. 1. Attached versus detached. Attachment is the single biggest trigger. 2. Any commercial activity, however small, disclose it. 3. Internal systems value, heating, electrical, irrigation all add real rebuild cost. Most policies were never updated to reflect. Here's the part most owners never hear from their agent unless they ask directly. The single most effective move available right now is requesting a scheduled structure endorsement that itemizes the greenhouse specifically, instead of leaving it folded into a generic other structures allowance. This sounds like a small administrative distinction. It is not. When a greenhouse is scheduled with an accurate, current replacement cost, the insurer is pricing exactly what they're covering. When it sits inside a vague allowance, the underwriting team has no clear picture of their exposure. And in 2026, that ambiguity is priced as risk, not given the benefit of the doubt. Unscheduled lumped allowance, 41% increase. Scheduled with accurate value plus disclosed produce sales, 16% increase. Same greenhouse, same risk, just classified correctly. The second half of the fix: if you sell any produce at all, ask about an incidental agricultural sales endorsement. Most carriers offer one for sales under a defined annual threshold, commonly $5,000 to $10,000, and it's far cheaper than a full commercial farm policy, while closing the disclosure gap that voids claims. Step 1. Schedule your greenhouse with a current rebuild cost estimate, not what you pay to build it. Step 2. Disclose any produce sales and add the incidental agricultural endorsement if needed. Both steps together typically cost less in added premium than the increase they prevent. This will not make your premium flat in 2026. Reinsurance costs are real and affecting the whole market. What it does is make sure your increase reflects actual risk, not an underwriter's uncertainty about a structure nobody ever classified properly. The number you give your insurer matters enormously, and most owners get it wrong in one of two directions: underestimating because they're thinking original construction cost, or overpaying premium for coverage they'll never use. A greenhouse built for $18,000 4 years ago may cost $26,000 to $32,000 to rebuild today. Glazing, HVAC, and irrigation automation have all risen meaningfully in price. Request a written like-for-like rebuild quote from a greenhouse contractor. Ask your agent if their carrier has an online replacement cost estimator for specialty structures. For unusual or high-value setups, a property appraiser with agricultural experience runs $200 to $500 for a formal valuation. Update this number every 2 to 3 years, regardless of claims. Beyond classification and valuation, 5 specific factors influence how carriers price this risk in 2026, and addressing them offsets the broader market increase. Supplemental heating safety. A properly installed propane or electric heater with correct clearances and a nearby fire extinguisher is something several carriers now ask about directly. Electrical service quality. A dedicated, permitted circuit for greenhouse systems, not an extension cord from the main structure, reduces fire risk, and is increasingly verified through Renewal inspection photos. Glazing material. Impact-resistant polycarbonate is rated more favorably than glass in hail-prone regions, including most of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, where hail damage to glazed structures has become one of the more frequent specialty claims industry-wide. Physical separation from the main structure. A fire break gap or fire-rated separation wall limits fire spread exposure between the greenhouse and your living space. directly relevant if you've already addressed fire suppression or intumescent coating on your main structure. Documented maintenance, a simple annual log, irrigation leak checks, glazing inspection, heating system test before each season, is increasingly requested at claim time. Owners without 1C slower processing and occasional partial denials. Let's be fair about what scheduling and disclosure cannot do. It will not eliminate the 8% national baseline increase. That's a market-wide reinsurance cost, not a classification issue. And it's hitting every homeowner regardless of structure type. It will not help if your greenhouse has unpermitted electrical work or non-compliant heating installation. Those issues need to be physically corrected, not just disclosed. It will not work retroactively on a denied claim. This is a renewal cycle fix. If you've already had a claim denied over an undisclosed structure, that's a different conversation with your agent and potentially a public adjuster. Based on 2026 industry data and real renewal outcomes, here's where the leverage actually is. Classification, scheduling wins. An itemized greenhouse with accurate value consistently outperforms a lumped other structures allowance. Disclosure, full disclosure wins. Even informal produce sales need to be on record. The cost of an endorsement is nothing compared to a denied claim. Valuation accuracy. Current rebuild cost wins. A 2022 number against 2026 prices is already a real gap working against you. Risk mitigation. Glazing, electrical, heating safety, and separation all offer real, if smaller, premium relief, and they reduce your actual risk of a loss, which matters more than the discount itself. Market-wide increase, unavoidable. The 8% baseline is happening regardless. The goal is not zero increase. The goal is making sure your increase reflects real risk, not unclassified uncertainty. Call your agent immediately if your greenhouse is attached to your main structure, if you've sold any produce even once, or if your last replacement cost estimate is more than 2 years old. You're probably fine on this specific issue if your greenhouse is fully detached, already scheduled with a current value, and you've never sold anything grown in it, though the 8% market increase still applies to you regardless. The data is clear. The gap between an 8% market increase and a 41% renewal shock is almost entirely about classification, disclosure, and accurate valuation. 3 things fully within your control. The East Texas owner from The Hook made all 3 changes after that frustrating phone call. Her next renewal came in at 16% instead of 41%. Same greenhouse, same risk, just classified correctly. The real question isn't whether your premium will rise in 2026. It will. The real question is whether that increase reflects your actual risk, or an underwriter's guess about a structure nobody ever told them the full truth about. Now, you know which conversation to have with your agent. If this helped you, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling me whether your premium jumped this year and whether you've got an attached structure. I read every comment.